Greetings everybody, it's DJRossterman here from Deadwood, South Dakota, USA. And today I'm going to be putting together a bit of a training course for you. If you're a person that uses GameGuruMax, made by the game creators. And this course is going to be about flying the Cobra gunship and how to utilize it in the game. Okay, this is the Cobra gunship right here. Okay, and there's certain things you need to know if you're not familiar with it already. So basically, it's like a little tutoring course on where to place your character and how to fly. Okay? So, this is your character right here. This is the guy that's going to be flying this aircraft. But I put this little guy here so I can use him as a representation of what I'm talking about as we go through the training course. He is actually you, okay? So, as far as that goes. Okay? So, if we select onto the helicopter, we've already placed it in there, so I'm assuming you know how to place the helicopter into the game environment at this point. So if you select on the helicopter, you'll now have it selected there. You can go over here to behavior, and you'll see it's already been assigned the aircraft behavior. So, and it has to know it's a helicopter. It doesn't really know that until you tell it. So you can pick a plane, you can pick a helicopter, or you can pick a VTOL. So we chose helicopter, and that's because we want to fly it with the helicopter dynamics. You don't have to worry about pitch and yaw like you do with an airplane. With a helicopter, you basically just turn left and right. You're not going to be rolling in that regard like you would with an aircraft. Okay, so just make sure you select helicopter. Now range is how far the helicopter will fly or how long the helicopter will fly. Okay, so the larger the number, the longer you stay in the air. Okay. And then E, when your character walks up to the helicopter, it'll say E to fly. You just hit your E key and you'll be flying the helicopter. Now to fly the helicopter, you're going to need the WASD keys, which are the same as you're walking, your keys there. Okay, and you're not going to worry about the mouse unless you're using a gun. Okay, and we'll show you how that works with this helicopter. You don't have to worry about pitch and roll. That's for an airplane. Okay, but you are going to be a WASD forward, left, okay, stop, and right. Okay, just remember that. That's pretty standard. Okay, space is to bring your aircraft up or take off. Okay, and the shift down, either shift, left or right, will bring the aircraft down to the ground. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now here we have a landing zone. If you assign a landing zone on the ground somewhere and you press the X key, I think the helicopter will just take you right to that spot and land you. I myself don't use that, but I'm pretty sure that's how that's going to work. Okay, now the display X and Y, I don't use those either, but I'm sure that's about maybe fuel or some kind of gauges on the helicopter that could be displayed on the screen if you should choose to use them. I don't, so I don't worry about that. But what is very important for everybody, okay, is this thing pilot. Okay, pilot position is very important to flying the helicopter. Okay, my current pilot position is X is 0. Now what they mean by X, if you're familiar with 3D, X is from position in a 3D object, basically left and right from center. Okay, so see I selected this head right here, and this is where he would be at 0. He'd be center. Okay, now over here in behavior, okay, I selected another guy. You'll see he went to his behavior. I don't have to worry about that. We'll click on this here. Okay, so if we go back down here to pilot, I wish this would stay there. I wouldn't have to worry about this. Okay. Okay, pilot. We know that his position X, 0, is the center. If I wanted to move him left or right, you could move him way over here where this guy's at, or over to the edge. Okay, in either direction. But if you want to fly from the center of the aircraft, you're going to want him right there at 0. Okay, now the 101, let me show you what that means. Okay. His normal position would be 0, 0, 0. That's where he'd be starting. So your character, this guy here, would be right about there, 0, right in the center, and down here somewhere, okay, in the center of mass. And he's not going to be able to see or fly that helicopter from that position, okay. So you're going to want to have to relocate him. So when I relocated him forward, okay, to where he's right about here. Okay, and then I put him right about there. Now this gives him a line of sight in all directions around the helicopter. I'll show you what I mean. We're going to show you where he's at. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and launch it. Now when you learn to fly a helicopter, it's best just to use an open field. It's quicker to load than trying to use a level design that I'm trying to do it. So E to fly, E to fly, hit the E key. Now you're inside the helicopter. See right here I can look back. And it's just about perfect where I told you it might be right there. Okay, so I'm going to take off to get him out of the way. He should stay there. Like that. And my helicopter just took off. Now I can see over my nose cone like that. See my props going around. I can look to my left, to my right, all the way around me, okay, from that position. And it's easy for me to fly the helicopter from this position. I'm going to be looking for golden keys, so I do want to be able to fly the helicopter and have a wide field of view. But placing your character in the helicopter is strictly up to you. You get to put them wherever you want to have them seated in this helicopter. And I'll show you what I'm talking about there. Okay. So the easiest way is go ahead and I'll quit this position right here, escape, take you back to the helicopter. Okay. Now over here when I click on it, helicopter again, on the behaviors. Okay. I hope you're following me here. I'm not trying to move too fast. Okay. And we go back to where the pilot is. Okay, I just showed you. The pilot was set for 101, so he's right about where that thing is, that little creature I put right there. Okay. But let's say you want to fly this helicopter in a more realistic fashion. Don't worry too much about the field of view. Just want to maybe take it from a combat position so you can see all the framework from inside that cockpit. So let's say you want your character down here. Okay. And you probably want him back here pretty far. Okay, something like that. Up here. Oops. Like right there. So he's inside there. He'll be able to see. I see that like you're seeing him right there. He'll be able to see all throughout that window, and that will be his field of view. Now, in order to get my character in that position, not the one you just saw me in when I was flying, I need to change those numbers. Okay. So we go back to the aircraft, and we look under pilot. Pilot. Okay. Okay. So I know I moved him back from front. So I'm going to take pilot Z. Okay, this is, oh, that's Z. Let me make sure I'm doing the right one here. Yeah. I know my X, Y's, and Z's. Yeah, Z is back. Okay, I want to move my guy back. He was at 81, so from 0, which would have been right about here, and we moved him 81 to put him right about here. Okay, that means I need to move him back to about, I'm going to say 55. Okay, that should put him in the back seat. Okay, and he was high with the 101, so I need to bring him down. So I'm going to say that's probably going to be about, gosh, I'm never quite right with this 100%. I'm going to say 86. Okay, that should bring him down a notch. Okay, so I'm going to leave that thing there, that creature, so you can see where if I got it even close. Now you don't have to do this little creature. I'm just using that to show you a point of reference while showing you what I'm talking about. He's inside there. Check it out. So let's go over here and enter the ship. Oh my gosh, he's right there in my lap. I think I did a pretty good job. This is the back seat, okay, and this is the cockpit, so we're looking out the window. Let's take off so we can see what we're looking at without him being there. Okay, there you are. Okay. So you're in the back seat of this helicopter now, flying it from that position. Okay, so let's see if you can do that. I've never flown it from here. Let's take a little quickie. Look at that! Look at this! Now this looks more like a flying craft. Maybe I'm too far back. But yeah, you can still look outside and do things. Now I notice my crosshair is moving around with my mouse while I'm flying left and right and up and down with my keyboard. going to go up. Turn. Now it's down. Turn. Cool. From that position it looks pretty cool. Not too hard to fly, but it does look a whole different perspective. And that's all about what those numbers talk about, your pilot position inside this aircraft, okay? All right, so that's what that's all about. That's what I'm trying to teach you right here. I didn't quite land on where he was. Okay, so let's come out of there. Okay, but that's, see, I wouldn't want him quite back that far. I want my character to be a little forward more. So I'm going to make sure I click on the helicopter when it's still on the character there. Okay, and make sure we go to behaviors. And we go down to this pilot thing here. Okay, and I don't want my pilot back as far. Now remember, back is Z, 55. So I'd probably want to bring that to around 66, 67. I'll go with 67. Okay, and we'll launch it again. Now it'll be closer to that front window. And we'll take a look how that looks. So this is all about learning how to put the pilot where you want him in the helicopter when he's flying. Now, yeah, forward to that guy. I'm in the very front window there. This is a great position, I think, to fly the helicopter. It does give you a pretty good field of view, and it also gives you the framework for flying. Yeah, it looks really nice. Now I think the crosshair is a weapon. I'm not sure exactly how that works yet. We're going to go over that together. My first time dealing with a weapon. So yeah, okay, so that's a good position to be in. So let's come out of there. Escape. Okay, I want my character a little bit more forward because, like I say, I like the big field of view, and that's the way I'm used to flying it. So I'm going to take that Z and bring it up to around, back to about, not 91, we're going to go with 81. Okay, and then my Y position, I'm going to go back up a little higher, back, I think I had it at 101. 101. Okay, we're not going to worry about the Z position or X position, you just stay in the center right there. This guy here is going to be behind me, so I won't even see him. Alright, are we ready to go fly from there? Okay, you know what I'm going to do while we're doing this training thing right here? We did have the possibility of having a weapon. So let's go down here and look at that. Okay. It says weapons, name. Let's go here and give it a weapon. Okay, we have a bunch of different types. Give it a sniper weapon? That'd be kind of different. I want you to zoom with that. I'm going to have to try it. But we're just going to give it a carbine right here, right now, automatic. Okay. And, 500 rounds. I don't know what we're going to shoot at. We'll give it some ammunition, okay? Use weapon, I guess that means, use weapon crosshair image. That's what this means here. You don't have to use a crosshair. Okay, so, yeah, I'm going to want a crosshair, but do I really want that one? Let's go here and see what they got for crosshairs. Go over here, you'll see crosshairs. Look at that. Oh, look at that. I like that one. We'll grab that one there. Add it. Okay, so that's going to be our crosshair, I think, for our weapon. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Helicopter, helicopter. So the audio bank stays the same. So I think this time when we're flying, we're actually going to have a weapon. Shall we do it? Shall we give it a try? Here, go up here. And see what we got. Now this is all being created with GameGuruMax. So if you want to build your own little first-person shooter or any other type of game basically that involves that, first-person perspective, this could be fun. Okay, so here E. Okay, something's going on there. I'm a little bit slower to turn my mouse. Oh, because I got a crosshair. What do you think of that? Let me see. Could that? we do have a weapon, okay, and I'm not seeing any ammunition on there, so let's take off. Okay, let's do a little flying. The mouse is a little slow, so I may have to change that a little bit. Maybe it's on purpose. I don't see any damage being done to stuff. I'll have to check that out. A little higher. Maybe we'll slow down or even stop. Can I stop? Yeah, I can stop. Can I do any damage? There are bullet holes there. Check it out. Check it out. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! That's cool! Not that anybody should go around shooting up the... Nobody should go around shooting up a monument, okay? But I just wanted to test the weapon. Yeah, I'll see if it works on my character. Let's see here. Bring this over here. This little guy I made a couple of months ago. Let me see if I can shoot him up. I know when you bring the characters in, you can assign it a material. I'm not seeing any damage there. So that has no material effect. That has no material effect. Or none that I can see. That does. Look at that. Whoa. Alright, so we got a weapon and a crosshair. And we can fly this bad boy. The crosshair's a little bit sluggish on the mouse thing for me. But I think I can get used to it. Bring her down. Forward. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is cool. This is cool. Oh, it's hard to do that. I'm just looking at the helicopter and not the mouse at the moment. Okay, let's see if I can land him. And then Q to get out. Q. Oh, that was awesome. You get to shoot a weapon. Isn't that cool? Oh, this guy's still floating right there. Again, he was just an example. Okay, come back out. So I hope you're getting what's going on there with that. Okay, so you can... I wonder... Let's take a look at the... I don't know if that's going to work. Sniper weapon. Can you imagine? Can you zoom in? Let's just go in and find out. I have no idea. This is my first dabble into the weapons use. It was a new add-on for the script. Glad I got to use it. Glad I got to show it to you. Hope to get to put it to good use in the game. Again, it's a little sluggish on that, but we'll get used to that. Looks like my character might have moved forward a little bit. I don't know how that could have happened. Or is he zoomed? Could be zoomed. He's got a sniper rifle. He's automatically zoomed. I can't seem to... No, how do you unzoom? How do you unzoom? You got minus key or something? Oh, look. Oh, what was that? What was that? He's doing something when I hit the 3 key. He can't shoot while he's doing that. So I don't know what that is. I think that's like melee combat or something like that. Let's find out if I can fly. Take off. I'm not too sure how to fly in zoom mode. I can't see my nose. I can't see my nose. Oh my god. Yeah, don't try to do this at home, kiddies. This is tricky. This is gonna... Oh no. Okay, we won't try that with a sniper rifle ever again. Okay. Hope you like that. Okay, I hope you're learning something from this. Okay, let's see. We'll pick something else here. Pump action shotgun, gloves, sledgehammer, magnum. Oh my goodness, a lot of weapons there. A lot of melee type weapons. Enhanced, I have no idea what those are until I use them. Slot not used. Okay, tools. Enhanced MK18. Let's use that. Okay, I have no idea what that is. If it's got a scope, it might be an issue. That was funny. Yeah, it's kind of hard to fly a helicopter from a perspective like that. Okay. Boy, not zoomed in, that's for sure. Let's take off. Let's move down the road here. That's more responsive. Look at that. It's like an automatic weapon. I'm not zooming with it. That's cool. I don't know if we'll be able to shoot that logo sign there or not. I don't want the guys to tend to hate me. Oh, it knocked me down. Oh my goodness. I killed the saloon number 10 sign. Sorry, George, just checking the bullets out. Okay, don't mind my being rude. I'm not seeing the bullet holes. There they are. Yeah, they are. He's not zooming. Didn't worry about that. Number 3. It's like it is meaty. Number 3 is meaty for me here. Okay, so let's rotate out of there. Okay, so we learned a little about the weapons today, folks, too, at the same time. Isn't that cool? GameGuruMax. This is getting more entertaining every day. Holy smokes, no crash. All I gotta do is hit escape. Okay, so now you learned a little bit about GameGuruMax and how to fly the helicopter. I hope you got something from it. But basically the most important thing about flying a helicopter is your X, Y, and Z under the pilot position. Okay, where you want to see you're from. Now, what I like about it too, okay, let's say if I use the X button here, you don't use that much because you almost always want to be in the center of the object. But if you were making a video, okay, and you were to move this over here like that, then technically here's this little green guy. If I can grab him here, we'll move the helicopter over a little bit. Okay. Technically this was you now, okay. You're going to be way over here, okay, and you can turn around, see, and be looking at the helicopter from this perspective while you're actually flying it. Now see, that's kind of tricky, man, because it's not easy to fly from way over here. This becomes basically the pivot point. You're the pivot point for the helicopter. Okay, and I'll show you what that means there, how that works. And we'll click on the helicopter, and we'll go down there, and I'll show you under that X key there for pilot. Pilot X, he's at 500. We don't want to be that far over. We'll go to 400. To 400, yeah, 395. Yeah, well then we'll hit enter and start the game there, and I'll show you what it looks cool when you're making a movie. I'll tell you what, if you're making a movie of a flyby scene of your game, yeah, this is cool. So bear that in mind when you're doing this. Okay, so that's you now. Okay, that's you. You're looking at the helicopter. Okay, so if you take off, okay, it's going to be a whole different way of flying. I can tell you that. Bring him down a little bit. Okay. Forward with his W, just like W, okay? I can look over here now and shoot stuff. Hey, over there. Can I shoot the helicopter? Oh my goodness, look, sparks. Oh, that's cool, you shoot metal. Oh, that's cool. That's about flying from over here, that's a whole different thing. If I wanted to fly through that hole there, this is going to be tough, watch this. Holy smokes. This is awesome trying to fly like that, but you see making a movie, take the crosshair away. You don't need the crosshair in there. Now I don't know if I can add a character to the helicopter. I have to find out if I can group something with that. That's a possibility. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But as you can see, you can make a movie with your helicopter flying around here. you got a head start on them, you do a 360. Whoa, look at that. Alright, so I'm getting dizzy too. I'm going to cut back. So that's just to show you, hit escape, that you can put the pilot anywhere you want and remotely control a helicopter from that position, if you know how to do it. If you know how to use the keys and deal with the perspective from that view perspective, okay? So this is DJRossterman doing a little eye candy demo and training section on helicopter flight dynamics and what you need to do with your behaviors. I'll figure out what the rest of these behaviors are eventually and update my training course here to talk about what this display stuff here is and the landing zone. Okay, so we can do that. But I hope you got a little something from it, okay? And if you did, give me a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. DJRossterman out.